do well against Razor because like what you see, he just spearing away Wonder Boy, and all of a sudden you only get 7 bonus damage from a static link that is on a 30-second cooldown. So I think Mars should be able to get quite a free lane here, especially knowing that he's on mid. So it's a lot easier for him to space out his spatial difference against the Razor, and I think he should be fine here.
Sure. And now that's where I'm going to try and keep my eyes on potentially if there's any rotations from Royale 5 to secure the power runes, because like you were saying, Mars, he doesn't have the greatest mana pool. He's already got the bottle queued up, so you know they're going to have to put a lot of emphasis on securing the runes, because if they don't, and if Arjit's got no mana, then we're going to see what's going to happen. It will naturally go back into a favorable range versus melee matchup for the Razor.
Yeah, for him, he really need to be careful with his spear usage, because as you see, once he used the spear on the range trip, Wonder Boy just straight away go in with a static link. So IG gotta be very careful with the spell usage here.
And you were speaking about some of the comfortable heroes, James on his favorite Hoodwink, and then we also got Mango Rose as well on the Phantom Lancer, which I think what level is he? He's level 29, so he's almost that Grandmaster. How do we feel like this lane is going to shape up between the two teams?
I think GY would be quite happy with this lane because it looked like a trade farm lane for me. I think Mango is happy, GY is happy, but the thing about PL is that like nowadays the item timing kicks in so early. You can go for a really early hood and just keep farming and scaling, or you can go for early diffuser blade and start fighting. Knowing how Royale 5's draft is, I think he want to go for the early diffuser blade so they can make use of the disruptor glimpse, make use of the tankiness of the Timbersaw.
Bot lane, speaking about the Timber, it's Faded's fallen pretty low, and in fact, he actually is going to get bursted down from the Whirling Death, combined up with all the trees for that bonus damage. So this is, on paper, not the easiest matchup for the Timber, but he's showing he can still play into it.
Yeah, and this is why he's confident to pick his first pick into essentially a blind pick, and he doesn't care because for any Timbersaw player that is experienced, they know how strong they can be, especially with the help of a Lion, one of the most solid posts for to help out with the post tree. Like the laning is just so solid.
They might even kill off Menu Ping. It's going to drag him off the creeps, but I mean the Timber's already killed off the entire creep wave, so it's not like he's really missing too much here. Top lane Disruptor, form pretty low as well, so a lot of these little skirmishes in the side lanes.
Yeah, I mean looking at the CS wise, PL is already 18-0. So I think he's having a very good time, and he's very happy about this. And VT Fader definitely did not expect himself to get so much pressure by this Lion and Timbersaw lane. I think he should expect to do a lot better than this, but it's been hard.
Yeah, and I really thought the Timber was going to struggle versus a lot of these more difficult matchups, because we saw previously, like, the one point in Timber Chain with, what, 100 damage, you could actually, like, man-fight an Ursa, man-fight a Monkey King, or, like, a Gyro at these early levels because of the damage you could output. But I thought the nerfs to the Timber Chain were going to make it that much more difficult to lane into the Monkey, but they're showing, I guess, with the strong parry in the Lion, that they can still offset that.
Yeah. I definitely did not expect Timbersaw to be able to still be so strong against the Monkey King, but I guess the double disable coming out from Lion is just making things very complicated here for the Monkey King.
Do you still feel like there's a lot of value in the Lion? Because at least for the first couple of days that Denog and I were casting I-League, and actually all through the groups, we really weren't seeing a whole lot of Lion. Like there was a little bit more emphasis on like the Shaman. Do you still feel like this hero didn't get nerfed too heavy? Actually hold that thought. GY. Falling up top, man, Disruptor living on 20 health.
That was very unfortunate for GY. But yeah, I mean, Lion, I feel like most of the spells of the Lion doesn't really get nerfed because all you want is the instant hacks. I think that's the most valuable coming out from the Lion, and also the Fingers of Death. Like the ability to just jump in one guy and burst him instantly before a team fight is still very valuable in this patch, because all the team fights, they break out like that, and you want to be able to bring down one of the target that is in front of your face. So I think in that aspect, Lion does it the best compared to any other post 5s or post 4s.
And it feels like it just got a little bit easier as well, considering the Aeon Disc got nerfed, and I feel like, if I remember correctly, there was a lot of like strength talents and health talents that got nerfed or taken away as well, which is just going to further increase, a kind of burst-orientated meta as VT faded. Maybe overstepping the mark a little bit here in this lane. You still see the Timber along with the Lion consistently chucking out this chip damage and really trying to dwindle down the Monkey.
Yeah, and the Timbersaw really knows what is his limit here in this lane. If you look at his skill build, he has only one level in reactive armor, and he's trying to go more aggressive here with the 2 points Timber
Top
Chain.
lane, they might get the Phantom Lancer. GY is actually pretty tanky with the Soul Ring, but with only 1 point in the Burrow Strike, the cooldown too high, and they're even going to glimpse back James. Got some scurries to be able to utilize here to get out of range of Mango, but at least the vision coming through from the Thunder Strike, which is level 2 already from Aegon.
I love this skill build coming out from a Disruptor. Like, he has 2 points on Thunder Strike. He knows that this lane has a high killing potential with the PL, so he went for the 2 points
faded? He might end up falling as well down, but another kill for the Timber. Okay, this lane exchange for Royal 5 is going swimmingly. They're even going to catch up to the Omni Knight as well, as Wayne sells up to a respectable amount of health and comes back in for the clutch Earth Spike.
Yeah, CW, he's definitely styling on VT Fader right now. Like, do you see the Ironwood branch usage there to connect to the teammate chain? That was
I didn't.
That was pretty nice.
Oh. Alright, he looks really comfortable on his heroes. This is a great introduction from Royal 5. I mean, a lot of previous viewers have seen Ragdoll, especially considering they were the reigning champions of Series 1. And now coming into this, you'd probably give him the edge. I know the odds would definitely give him the edge, but the lanes, you love to see it.
Yeah. And this is how aggressive like Southeast Asia players can be when they recognize that this is a lane that I'm gonna dominate. They are gonna dominate it.
And we haven't put as much attention on the mid lane just because of all the action that we've seen, but it looks like, honestly, Arjit's having quite the time. He's more farmed than what the Razor is at the moment. So how do you think this is going to disrupt the early game considering Arjit's lane?
I think this only puts a lot more pressure onto Arjit because apparently right now he's the only one that's having a good lane. It seems like he's gonna use the DD here.
They got an extra rotation from GY. Getting range to charge up the epicenter afterwards. Wonderboy will end up ticking out to the magical damage. Even Wayne has to be cautious with his positioning. Tried for the TP support, but he was a little bit too late. It means now that Timber's soloed down bot, but he knows his strength. He's actually going to continue to man fight the duo on Ragdoll.
Yeah, I like this move a lot coming out from RG and also GY. They know that, alright, the side lanes are heavily losing right now, and you don't really want to go to save a losing lane. You want to be snowballing your strong lane, which is the Mars lane in this case. So they make a move on the Razor, and I like to see that. And I like to see teams are identifying their strength and then try to snowball on that top lane though.
James should end up falling here, dominating streak for Mango. So, his laning stage is continuing to shine. And I want to bring up the itemization though for Arjit. You're saying that he's pretty much the one strong lane that we've got from Ragdoll at the moment. Does he have to utilize his net worth into an early blink to continue to ramp up the tempo? Or do you want to give that the priority to the Sand King? He's just getting solo killed by Aegon.
Yep, Aegon just straight up walk up to Sand King and drop all the spells and got a solo kill. You do not expect a post-fight disruptor to get level 6 in 8.5 minutes. And
yeah,
that was all because of the kills coming out from the safe lane.
I mean, yeah, he's 1-0-4, so an immense amount of experience. And actually, what's the Lion's level? And Lion's level 5 as well. This is all pre-tome. So, I mean, Aegon almost level 7. He's put 3 points in Thunder Strike. So, you may go back now to putting a lot more emphasis in the Glimpse because they could definitely snowball a couple of kills here, especially with the Timbers lane and the Razor might get pretty active soon as well. Maybe for like a rotation down to take this tier 1 tower.
Yeah, I think taking Dower is definitely the next step here coming up from Year 5 to continue their snowball action to go. And you were talking about RG's responsibility here with the Mars, and I think that Dagger is definitely the item that he needs because we were saying how they need this strong Mars to come into the team fight to kind of be their savior. And without the Blink Dagger, it's gonna be really hard for Mars to do it because you literally have to Facebook walk up to drop the arena. But before that happens, you could very well just get silenced by the Disruptor or get hacked by the Lion. And without the Dagger, it's gonna be really hard for Ragdoll to find the turnaround point. So for now, I think Ajit, he gotta find all the time that he can get to get this Blink Dagger ASAP. Otherwise, I think Ragdoll, they are gonna be playing from the back for a while until the Dagger is up.
So there's key emphasis here on the blink timing here for Arjit, which means maybe they can defend bot. I mean, it's about half health, and I'm dire. Of course, they're not actually looking to take the tower at the moment, but Arena does have a lot longer of a cooldown, and it feels like with the lack of damage they have at the moment, they're going to be pretty reliant on the epicenter cooldown as well. So we're always going to have to keep tabs on that for Ragdoll. How about in particular for VT Fader though? Because you were saying that throughout the draft, a lot of these Monkey Kings kind of like this faster tempo itemization with the Echo Saber. Does he have to kind of swap it up here, considering they don't have a lot of magical damage and not the greatest way to kill off the PL? So could Maelstrom be on the cards?
Yeah, I think Maelstrom is definitely one of the highest priority item that VT Fader should be considering right now. It's either Maelstrom or the Fury, but normally you will only go Fury if you have a free lane. Like right now, he's 0 and 2. He doesn't get a lot space anymore, so I think Maelstrom should be the item he's going for. The one good thing I want to highlight here for Ragdoll is that even though their offensive ability is really low right now, but their defending ability is so high with the Arena, with the Sandstorm coming up from Sand King. If Royale 5 wants to be commit into pushing a tower, I think that's where Ragdoll would want to fight back and react.
How can Royal 5 kind of combat that then? Do you want to see them maybe smoke, get a pick off, and then try and take a tower, or then maybe try and get a deep observer ward behind the tower they're taking just to give them information? Like how can they kind of, you know, send their forces to that push?
Ability is so high with the Arena, with the Sandstorm. I think for now, Ragdoll, they need to have some kind of complicated team move coming here. Like everyone need to move simultaneously. So maybe for Ragdoll, if they want to pull out a successful defense, they will need someone to bait under tower, and maybe bait the Timbersaw and Lion to jump that guy, and then they'll have some other guy taking in to counter fight that. I think that would be the ideal team fight scenario coming for Ragdoll. And for Royale 5, I think this is where the Lion really shines. Like you want to go in, burst one guy, get out. So Lion, once he hits the level 6, I think he has all the tools to do it, just to give you the quick in and out kill, and then reset your fight. So maybe for Ragdoll,
which is scary considering how well the lanes have gone, which is then going to indirectly help the experience for the Lion and the Disruptor. We brought up the solo kill before with that Static Storm, Disruptor almost level 7, but Lion in particular, he's 5 2/3. And I'm intrigued because we've had a long pause, and if Radiant were looking around, they're going to see Wayne attacking up high ground in the river. I don't know if they pinged it out. It's a minute thing, and yeah, actually I think Mars just pinged it out as soon as we got back in. So maybe, you're considering they had so much time to look around and see what was going on, they would have seen him doing that. So could have a D ward coming up shortly.
Yep. And we see now GY has already TP down bottom to defend this lane. They don't really want to give tower, especially when you have a good hero to defend it. And for Royale 5, they are doing the dive.
Omni Knight, if we can tank through the initial damage, maybe this will enable the rotations to come through, but targeting down the Timber seems a much more difficult task than the Lion. So Arjit's just going to drop the combo. 90-second cooldown though, so maybe with Lion respawning, he won't have the tome by then, but man, Timber just eats apart the Omni.
Yeah, they don't really want that's the power of the Timbersaw against the Omni Knight, and whoever he's gonna have any grace, because Ring Death is gonna do so much damage. But yeah, I mean that would be a. I think Royale 5 is very happy with the trade. Like you are forcing this 90-second cooldown ability coming out from Mars, and that's the only move that he can make. And now you know that 60-second window that there's nothing Ragdoll can do. So I think Royale 5 is gonna look to abuse this timing very soon.
I mean, you just got level 6 picked up on Wayne. We've got a sentry already preemptively dropped. Just going to go out of range, unfortunately. They've also got the catapults coming out shortly as well. So quite often Timber, he can tank up the tower, but he very much relies on the creeps to do the damage. So this is going to be where that finally Royale 5 can find their first tower of the game.
I think often this is the biggest struggle for teams that draft to snowball, because when you have a very strong killing lineup, you often want to pair with some kind of tower